Good morning, first years. Welcome to the sixth day of your orientation. Kindly enjoy and learn from the events of the day. You're welcome.
Jodomi, I want you to love me. Jodomi, baby.
Jodomi, Jodo.
Kilo de, oh. Why you know they call me Kilo de, baby.
Kilo de Jodo.
And they give you signal.
Jodomi.
So you know they see me.
Jodomi.
I give you green light to tire.
Jodomi, Jodo.
I won't kill no babu.
Jodomi.
Come on, no fumble.
Jodomi.
I will shoot my shot to your Joro. So Joro, baby, take my number.
Take my number.
You know you can call me later.
Call me later.
Me, I want to be your lover.
Be your lover.
Oh, baby, call me later.
Call me later.
Talk to your friend, oh, Jodomi, baby.
Jodomi, Jodo.
She be one love for me. You talk say you like me. A bit of long bago.
Kilo de Jodo.
I dey give you singing on.
Jodomi.
So you know they see me.
Jodomi.
I give you green light to tire.
Jodomi, Jodo.
I'm a killer babu.
Jodomi.
Come on, no fumble. I go shoot my shot to you, Joro. So Joro, baby, take my number.
Take my number.
You know you can call me later.
Call me later.
Me, I want to be your lover.
Be your lover.
Oh, baby, call me later.
Call me later.
semi. Kama sana kamilishe mama, tafadhali Mola mwambie milele anichunge mimi nisije zama, mashetani asinivamie, chuki wivu tunakutesana, linda kwako siwasikie, kwa nini hatuwezi sote kupendana, binadamu acha niwaambie, labda si sote na wazimu, labda lana yetu pesa, kesho kipoteza kila kitu, dunia nzima itakucheka, wanamatilimisha yangu sumu, wabaki hao ndio kusema, kesho wapigie chali yangu simu, hasa hao walivyonipenda. Haya, 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 haya. Haya, wanawasi watu hawa. Haya, 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 haya. Binadamu kageuka mnyama, hayawan.
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 Hayawan. Unaongeza nini bidii na roho ya mwanadamu haitoshekia. I'm sorry if I never made you happy. I can't be there for everybody. It's easy to see. Wengi wishi tukutafuta kasoro kwako. Why man so money minded? You wanna take from everyone. Management society. Uoni haya kuivunja familia. Hamna utu ni kujifikiria. Woi binadamu wote megeuka. Haya, 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 haya. Haya, wanawasi watu hawa. Haya, 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 haya. Binadamu kageuka mnyama, hayawan.
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 Hayawan. Unaongeza nini bidii na roho ya mwanadamu haitoshekia. I'm sorry if I never made you happy. I can't be there for everybody. It's easy to see. Wengi wishi tukutafuta kasoro kwako. Why man so money-minded? You wanna take from everyone. Management society. Huoni haya kuivunja familia. Hamna utu ni kujifikiria. Woi binadamu wote megeuka. Haya, 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 haya. Haya, wanawasi watu hawa. Binadamu kageuka mnyama, hayawan.
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 Hayawan. Hayawan. Hayawan. Hayawan.
Na mwogopa Mungu pekee, binadamu kadhalika mtafash, naomba Mungu mtetee, maneno yao yasiniumize, mfanye sugu wewe, wakitry kuntisha naomba nisitetemeke, nisitetemeke.
mama, siku ya hivi.
Yelele mama,
Hapo zamani mama, shauri ya pombe yeye.
yelele mama,
Ayo hapo zamani mama, siku ya hivi.
yelele mama,
Sasa hapo zamani mama, shauri ya pombe yeye.
yelele mama,
Nini mbona jingena kaya je, kungenga ya mabulu babo.
yelele mama,
Nini mbona jingena kaya je, kungenga ya belumbi babo.
yelele mama,
Nini mbona jinzula je, kungenga ya belumbi babo.
yelele mama,
Nini mbona jingena kaya je, kungenga ya belumbi babo.
yelele mama,
Bale kabu
sizonge,
Sizonge na tina
sizonge,
Sizongu ya Sizongu ya kaya Sizonge
sizonge,
Sizongu ya Sizongu ya Sizongu ya kaya Sizonge Na yelelele mama Hapo zamani mama, siku ya hivi.
yelele mama,
Sasa hapo zamani mama, shauri ya pombe yeye.
yelele mama,
Ayo hapo zamani mama, siku ya hivi.
yelele mama,
Sasa hapo zamani mama, shauri ya pombe yeye.
yelele mama,
Nini bona jingena kaya je, kungenga ya mabulu babo.
yelele mama,
Nini bona jingena kaya je, kungenga ya mabulu babo.
yelele mama,
Nini bola chinzula je, kungenga ya belumbi babo.
yelele mama,
Nini bona chinzula je, kungenga ya belumbi babo.
yelele mama,
Bale kabulu,
Sizonge,
sizonge na tina,
sizonge,
sizongu ya,
sizonge,
sizongu ya kaya.
sizonge,
Bale kabulu,
sizonge,
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 sizongu ya,
sizonge,
sizongu ya kaya.
sizonge,
Sizonge. Na yelelele mama.
bolingo na pesa na yo ezali akobatelamba motema ya mwana moto eboya bapasi ya lamu soki ngai nalingi yo linganga sherie komi pesa tolingana wana nde kimia bolingo komi konyokolonga ekomi lokola koloko maloba tolobaka ntango tobandaka etikali lokola bafoto ndenge ngai nalingi yo linganga sherie soto mwana moto yo konyokolo ye bazali mpe moto bolingo no pesa na yo ezali akobatelama motema ya mwana moto eboya bapasi ya lamu soki ngai nalingi yo linganga sherie komipesa tolingana wana nde kimia bolingo komi konyokolana ekomi lokola koloko maloba tolobaka ntango tovandaka etikali lokola bafoto ndenge ngai nalingi yo linganga sherie zoto mwana moto yo konyokolo ye bazali mpe moto bolingo maladidike ezanga na pedokotolo koboya tenoki na kokufa simba ngai na loboko ya mobali lamu maladidike ezanga na pedokotolo koboya tenoki na kokufa simba ngai na loboko ya mobali mama 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 bolingo na pesa na yo ezali akobatelama motema ya mwana moto eboya bapasi ya lamu soki ngai nalingi yo linganga sherie omipesa tolingana wana nde kimia konyokolonga ekomi lokola koloko maloba tolobaka ntango tovandaka etikali lokola bafoto ndenge ngai nalingi yo linganga sherie zoto mwana moto yo konyokolo ebazali mpe moto bolingo maladidike ezanga na pedokotolo koboya tenoki na kokufa simba ngai na loboko ya mobali lamu maladidike ezanga na pedokotolo koboya tenoki na kokufa simba ngai na loboko ya mobali mama 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 bolingo maladidike ezanga na pedokotolo bolingo maladidike ezanga na pedokotolo ina lingio linganga sherie kogo mwana moyo konyokolo ye bazali mpe moto Bolingo komi konyo kolanga e komi lokola koloko maloba toloba katango tovandaka etikali lokola bafoto ndenge ngai nalingi yo linganga sherie zoto mona modo yo konyokolo ye bazali mpe moto Bolingo mana didike ezanga na bedo kontolo Bolingo mana didike ezanga na bedo kontolo ezanga na bedo kontolo
Orientation Day. Good morning, everyone. Good morning again. Welcome to our 6th Orientation Day, a time that we don't take it for granted. We appreciate our God that He has given us such a wonderful time. Good morning again, the first years. Welcome. Now, please log in to Zoom. Our Zoom details and password are provided in the site, firstyears.egerton.ac.ke. You can also join us. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, Egerton University Official. You can also like our Facebook page, Egerton University. You can too follow us on Twitter handle at Egerton UN Kenya. We also have a call center. Our number is 0711 082444.
0711 08 2444. You are equally required to check the Egerton website for departmental meetings. This is very important so that you get communication from the university. Please do log in and welcome for the day to join with us. We are requesting that all of us stand up for our national anthem, East African anthem, and Egerton anthem to start off the day. Welcome.
for Humanity Advancement. Egerton University we are. Passion for excellence, devotion to duty, professionalism, thus until in one accord, Egerton University we are. Ushirikiano na haki kwa wote, elimu hakika, tunapata ujuzi wa maendeleo ya kimataifa. Egerton chuo chetu cha hakika, kwa ufanisi kujitolea, utenda kazi milele, tukiungana kwa pamoja. Egerton chuo chetu cha hakika. In our varsity is set to achieve great opportunities to research and transforming lives through quality education. Egerton University we are. Kwa ufanisi kujitolea, utenda kazi milele, tukiungana kwa pamoja. Egerton chuo chetu cha hakika.
Thank you. You can have seats. You can be seated now. Thank you so much. I'm sure you listen to the wordings, and that makes us who we are as citizens of our country and as Egerton. That's our culture. Welcome. Again, I would want to congratulate the first years. Congrats for having made it to Egerton University and University of your choice. You are most welcome. This morning, we are welcoming you to Zoom, and our Zoom details and password are provided in the site firstyears.egerton.ac.ke. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Egerton University Official. You can also like our Facebook page, Egerton University. Follow us on Twitter handle, Egerton Uni Kenya. We have a call number that you can call and you have your questions answered. And in case you have any concern, please call number 0711-082444, 0711-082444. This is a request and a requirement that we all check the Egerton website for our departmental meetings. This is the way of communication so that you get information, what is happening and what is required of you. We are glad that we have this day again. I want to invite Irene Kigen. Irene, please, for a word of prayer. Irene, for a word of prayer, please. Yes, as Irene comes, it is important, and these are factors and issues that we are told by every dean and those that came with the dean, that number one is to trust in God. This is the same God we want to trust this morning, that He takes us through the entire day. Welcome, Irene.
Good morning. Let's commit the online Zoom with a word of prayer. Father, in the mighty name of Jesus, we thank you this morning and we honor your name. We give you praise, we give you honor. Father, in heaven, we want to commit the School of Law and the Faculty of Engineering and all the activities that is going to take place today, Lord, the technical team, our online students. Father, we commit them unto your hands. We pray, Father, that you may give us insight and understanding today so that all may go well. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, we pray this and believe.
Thank you, Irene. Thank you so much for that word of prayer. And we realize that for the entire last week and the beginning of this week, we've had quite a number of team from the university talk to us and welcome us, tell us what is expected of us and what we are also expecting from the university. And yesterday we had the Dean, Faculty of Science and the team. In the afternoon session we had the Faculty of Commerce. We had quite an interrogative session and it was wonderful. We want to welcome you today to accompany us, and please put down your questions and you can ask even as the session goes on from the Faculty of Law. We want to invite the Dean, Dr. Ruth Aura. You're most welcome, Dr. Thank you. You are welcome.
That assists on the day-to-day activities ranging from academics, social and emotional empowerment through the academic journey in Egerton. Dr. Ruth Aura, Dean Faculty of Law, Egerton University, and I am the person who says, welcome to Egerton University School of Law. Let me start by saying that law is full of stories. It depicts tales of oppression and tales of deliverance that will capture your imagination. And the students who are happiest here are those who think of their courses not as preparation for exams or preparation for the bar, but as occasions for conversations with incredibly bright people, students and professors alike. The primary purpose of the Faculty of Law is to assist and empower students in the development of meaningful educational plans compatible with their life goals. The ultimate responsibility for making decisions about education, plans, and life goals rests with the individual. The faculty will assist by helping to identify and assess alternatives and consequences of decisions taken through academic advising. Students are assigned an academic advisor that assists on the day-to-day activities ranging from academics, social and emotional empowerment through the academic journey in Egerton University. This is critical for student performance and therefore should be taken seriously by all students. But the Bachelor of Law program offered at Egerton University runs for a period of 4 years. Each course taken is equivalent to 45 lecture hours or 3 credit factors. These courses will vary from the university common courses, which will be undertaken in the first and second year, CLE core courses, which are mandatory courses as required by the Council of Legal Education, school core courses, which students enrolled as undergraduates at the school must take before graduating, and elective courses, where students will be allowed to select 2 elective courses in 4th year of study. During the first and second years of study, students shall take a total of 13 and 14 courses in each year, respectively, inclusive of common core courses plus the judicial attachment program at the end of the 3rd year. Assessments for each course are carried out through continuous assessment tests, mooting, and written examinations. Students are exposed to hands-on experience to real cases through legal aid services run by the faculty legal aid project. Our niche is human rights and legal research and writing. At the end of this course, students can use the skills acquired to work in any human rights establishment, such as the UN agencies, African Union, civil society organizations, NGOs, among others. They can also work as research assistants. In light of the current coronavirus pandemic, the school will be adopting a range of blended teaching and learning techniques, including online and face-to-face, where practical, to ensure that students can meet their learning outcomes in full. We will respond proactively to any national or local policy changes, including lockdown, to ensure student safety is our primary concern, whilst continuing to focus on offering a comprehensive student academic experience, and will work flexibly with our students to ensure they are not disadvantaged by COVID-19. I take this opportunity to once again welcome you to Egerton University Faculty of Law and leave with you the wise words of renowned actor Denzel Washington. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. Without commitment, you will never start, or more importantly, without consistency, you will never finish. I encourage you to be committed students and focus on your goals. Thank you.
Good morning once again, and welcome to Egerton University Faculty of Law. This is a very special event for us, and we are here to celebrate your success and to thank you sincerely for making Egerton University your first choice for your academic journey. Today is an extraordinary event. Extraordinary because we are beginning to induct you into the journey of academia. And as been said before, a student life is that life which can be easy, can be difficult, but for only those ones who purpose that can overcome the difficulties associated with learning. We are here to welcome you into that journey and to initiate you into rigorous work that is associated with law as an academic program. Today, I am accompanied by members of the faculty here today. I have our administrator, I have the chair of the department, and he also serves as the associate dean at the faculty. We are here just to give you words of encouragement, never to lose your focus, never to lose the goal that you have set up. You know, you can have many dreams, but if you don't set goals to achieve them, you'll never get there. And today, we are here to help you start that goal, set it to the required level that is needed to accomplish your studies. And once again, I wish to thank you for making Egerton University Faculty of Law the first choice for your academic journey. And I wish now to welcome my faculty administrator, Mr. Samuel Kimani, to say a word, because on a day-to-day life at the faculty, you'll be interacting with him on many administrative issues. Welcome, Mr. Kimani.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Dean Dr. Ruth Aura, for this opportunity. As it was mentioned earlier, my name is Samuel Kimani Kamau. I'm the Faculty Administrator, Faculty of Law. And I also would like to congratulate you all for choosing Egerton University and for the journey that you finished in and making it to university. It's not a mean feat, and we'd like to congratulate all of you. Like Dean mentioned, I'll be interacting with most of you. I'll be the point of interaction at the faculty, and I'm sure you're going to have an easy time with you, because being law students, you'll be law-abiding citizens and students of Egerton University. In closing, I'd like to leave you with one quote as I encourage you as you begin your journey at university. The reason most people do not recognize an opportunity when they meet it, it is because it usually goes around wearing overalls and looking like hard work. Tafakari hayo for now, and we'll interact later. As I leave, I'd like to welcome Mr. Gitanda, our COD, to address you. Thank you.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. As you have heard, my name is Gitanda. I'm the chair of the Department of Public Law. I wish to appreciate your presence and taking time to have chosen Egerton University as your first choice in the Faculty of Law. I want you to feel free, feel at home, and know that the choice you made is the correct choice. But I want to make a few remarks as you come in as first years that you need to understand the environment in which you are going to operate. I know you recently left high school, and your freedom was fairly limited. But at the moment you're coming to the university, as you join the university, you have 100% plus freedom. That freedom is good for you. However, it's something that is very risky. You have to be very careful on how you utilize your time. The faculty will be available for you to assist you in all manner of ways that you may require assistance. Let me focus on, as an upcoming lawyers, what do you expect? Or what do we expect from you? As lawyers, we are guided by the Constitution of Kenya. We have to abide by the provisions of the Constitution of Kenya. We have also to be bound by the rules that I passed, or legislation that I passed by Parliament, and even county governments and subordinate legislations. That's what we have to follow. But fundamentally, I want you to be aware of what we call professional ethics. A lawyer is bound and guided by professional ethics. In law, what we expect you to do, One, the dress code. If you look at the way I'm dressed, I had to dress this intentionally for you to see that lawyers, we have to dress properly. And what do I mean by this dress code? You really don't put any kind of dress that you want. You have to dress decently. And as a lawyer, when you go to address the court, I want you to be aware of this, that when you're addressing the court, if you're not properly dressed, we'll be exposing you to professional ethics as you join. One of the things that the court will tell you is this, that I can hear somebody speaking, but I can't see the person. That tells you you are not properly dressed. The use of courteous language. When you're addressing the court, when you address your colleagues, you have to use a courteous language. Thirdly, time management. Lawyers, you must manage your time. For you now who are coming in, you will get the timetable. You will know when the class starts. You have to be in class in time. Actually, not on time, but in time as you wait for your lecturers. Just as you go to represent your client in court, it will be very unfortunate and regrettable that your client is in court in time, but you are not available. Your client's case is called out. The client stands up and says, my lawyer is not present and has not arrived. I don't even know where he is. So as lawyers, we must manage our time properly. The other issue that I want to say is this, that as you join Egerton University, your journey starts immediately from day one. We're going to interact with you more on Thursday from around 9:30, and we'll be able to answer a number of your questions that you may be able to raise at that time. But note this, that we'll be releasing a timetable that will guide you, and you will be able to know what subject is going to be taught at what time. So you need to be prepared from day one. Attendance in class is mandatory. And if you do not attain 100% attendance, we may not allow you to sit for your final exams. We will give you details which will show how the mode of assessment is done, but in summary, I would have to say this. If you hope to get your first class, which is possible, you have to start day one. If you score more than 70% in every subject, you'll be getting the first class. If you score between 60 and 69, you'll be getting second class upper division. If you score between 50 and 59, you'll be scoring second class lower division. If you score between 40 and 49, you will be getting a classified degree known as a pass. And if you get below 39%, that will be an F, and you will be discontinued, and you will not be able to continue with your program. Law is not an easy profession. You have to be prepared to work. And I want you to note that we call lawyers learned friends. As you came in now, we'll call you learning friends. Why should we call you learning friends? That is when you start to understand what law is. At the faculty, we will explain briefly what the law is, although it has never been agreed what law is. But then we will tell you where to find the law. Clients will come to your office. When they talk to you, they will give you their story. It is you as a lawyer who will find out which law is applicable. Why are we called learned friends? We are not called learned friends because we are highly learned. No, we have other professionals who are also highly learned. But in our line, the reason is simple, that learning is a continuous process. New laws are being passed each day, right? So we have to update ourselves. Clients from various backgrounds will have various issues. They appear before you. You are the one to know where the law is, and you can never stop learning until you retire. By the way, lawyers never retire. So you'll be working until maybe God calls you from this world. So with those very few remarks, I wish to say, karibuni sana, Egerton University, Faculty of Law, and we shall interact even more. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kimani and Mr. Getanda, for the encouraging words that you've given to our students. And I'll say, and I'll tell you this. We are here to inspire you. And we're not inspiring you for the sake of it. In any given life, there is an experiment, there is time for expiring. And of course, when we expire, we don't want the faculty to be left in limbo. This is the reason why I'm saying we are here to inspire you, so that when we expire, you'll be stepping in to ensure that the faculty continues to run. And how do you do that? You do that by ensuring that you take your studies very seriously. You run through the steps of your academic ladder. When you're done with your undergraduate, we expect you to do your master's, and then you come and replace me, or you come and replace Mr. Getanda. So you have to set your goals very high to get there. If you set it very low, you'll never get there. And my prayer to you is that come and be disciplined students. We are lucky that we expose our students very early in their lives using the Legal Aid Project, using real people cases, to expose you to what happens on a daily life. That is something which I myself I never experienced during my college life. But here we are preparing you, sufficiently to be able to cope with your life as an advocate, as a researcher, or as a magistrate. And secondly, we have something called moot court. Moot court is where in every unit at the end of before end of the semester, like the 10th week, most lecturers at the faculty give hypothetical cases to students to tackle. And they require you to use what you are taught theoretically and apply it to that hypothetical question that is given. And during that period, we put you into groups of 6, one appearing for the complainant and one appearing for the person who is offending the other one. So in law, we call them plaintiff and the defendant. At that point, when we've given you sufficient time, like 4 weeks to prepare, we expect you to go back to read case law, discuss among yourselves the way lawyers consult in real life, and then on the day of presentation, the lecturers will bring an outside advocate, and occasionally we request magistrates to come and sit at the moot to be more objective, so that you don't say, because I know you in class, I may not be rational or I may not be objective. So that is a plus for our students. So you're coming to learn from the best and learn through better practical skills that will help you to cope. And we will always be there available for you. And one thing for my students, for all our students, we take them as our children, notwithstanding the fact that when you finish, you're going to be our colleagues. So we develop that professionalism right from day one, and we encourage you to come with that in mind. And law is an area where you have to be highly disciplined, as Mr. Getanda has already told you. We are not going to ring bells for you to know that it's the next time for your class, and we are not going to wake you up. It is a personal responsibility that you must undertake and journey throughout your 4-year life in Egerton University. And this point, because we are still going to interact, I would welcome questions based on the presentations, any concerns that you may raise, or anything that you want to know about the law, the Faculty of Law. And as I've told you, you're coming to Egerton University, a world-class university. So if you're coming to a world-class university, you have to start internalizing how you're expected to relate with a first-class university in the world, not in Kenya. And it is upon you to help us maintain that image. And it's not upon you, it is a must that you must help us to maintain that image. You know, it is not negotiable. I welcome you once again to our faculty, and please, I'll leave it open for discussions, not only for discussions, but for questions and answer sessions. Thank you. Mr. Getanda, you can come.
I already have a few questions here which have been sent to us. I will quickly give a brief response to them. The first question that has come is this: what are the requirements for one to do law? I have to say this, that since you have already been admitted to the Faculty of Law in Egerton University, you have already qualified. But what we require in the Faculty of Law, Egerton University, is that your average mean grade should be B-. And then the core subject that we emphasize or we focus on is languages. In English, you need to have a B plane. If you miss English, then you need to have a B plane in Kiswahili, because Kiswahili is recognized as a national language. So the law was amended recently to Kiswahili instead of what? In English. So if you have eight of them, you are properly qualified with a mean grade of B-. The second question is this: can you pursue law if you already have an average grade, or if you have a C plane in English? If you have a C plane in English, you are not qualified to do law immediately as a degree course. But then, if you have a B+ in English or a B plane and above in Kiswahili, you are eligible for admission, not only in Egerton University, but in any faculty. These rules are passed by a body called Council of Legal Education. Emphasis is on language because lawyers, we have to be effective communicators. And you'll be taught communication skills, which is very crucial for any lawyer to communicate effectively. Because as you represent your client in court, what do you require? To communicate effectively. That is why English language or Kiswahili language is mandatory for you to have attained the minimum grade. The third question that has been posed to us is this: is maths a requirement for doing law? I will say yes and no. Why do I say no? According to the requirements that you qualify, you attain, we emphasize on language. So mathematics is not mandatory. But I also say yes, mathematics is mandatory. Why do you require to have good knowledge or sound knowledge in mathematics? Now, you're going to learn accounts. And accounts, you have to keep proper records of your accounts. As a lawyer, you are going to a custodian of your client's money. As a lawyer, you will be required to manage the estates of the deceased persons. So accounting knowledge is necessary. And the basis of accounting knowledge, you require to have sound knowledge in mathematics. I normally put it this way, that accountants have to know to count from 0 up to 9. So when they count from 0 up to 9, if they're talking of a million, they have to repeat the same numbers. But lawyers, you have to know to count or to memorize or to recite the letters A to Z. How many are they? They are 26. You can see you have much more. But maths is also mandatory. You'll be doing accounting, and it will help you to understand the accounting principles that are required or expected of professional lawyers. Thank you.
Good morning once again. There's a question on where do law students reside in town. The answer is we don't have hostels for law students in town, but what we have done, we have contracted private hostel owners who are in our university framework. So when you first years report, we usually link you to the hostel owners, and they show you the various facilities that they offer. They usually range from 5,000 to to 6,500 per month. Yeah, and they provide meals during school days, lunch and breakfast, and all the meals during weekends and public holidays. Thank you.
We have also received a few questions that I want to respond to, although at some stage the Dean will also respond to some of them. One of the questions that one of you has asked is this: what are the skill-oriented courses that we have to learn in law? Now, the Dean mentioned what we call a moot court. A moot court here, we frame hypothetical cases. When we frame hypothetical cases, one of the parties, one of the students becomes a complainant, and one of the students also becomes the defendant, that is the accused. Then we will have a lecturer of the faculty being a judge, right? And as you were told by the Dean, sometimes we invite external lawyers from the Rift Valley Law Society. We also invite magistrates, and we're in a process to enter into engagement to invite judges who can preside over these moot courts. The mooting gives you the skills that you require to argue as a lawyer on behalf of your clients. We really do not have the parties. We have lawyers who represent parties, and in most cases at an appellate level. You would understand what it would mean when we talk about the appellate level when you come in. Now, there is a second question. But by the way, these skills that you are going to learn on mooting, we have competitions. Universities compete amongst themselves where we have moots, and it goes even up to the international level. Our students have been able to participate, and when you come in, we'll be able to explain how far we have gone. When you go to the Kenya School of Law, mooting will still be done. So our faculty will give you the foundation on how you can argue and represent your client in court. The second question is this: what are law clinics? Now, when we talk about law clinics, this is actually what the faculty does, and I know the Dean will emphasize on this. We have a legal aid project in our faculty. What do we do? At the faculty level, we have students, especially those who are in 4th years and 3rd years, who have learned a number of subjects, supported by our faculty staff. We normally render legal advice to the marginalized. Every Thursday and Tuesday from 9 to 4 p.m. at the faculty level, members of the public are requested to attend to our offices where we offer free legal advice. Our students, supervised by a faculty member, get the experience about how to handle clients. They listen to the members of the public who table their problems, and on the basis of the guidance of the faculty member, the students are able to see how clients are handled and guided on how they can deal with their issues. Now, there are a number of courses that we have taught. When you are in the 1st year, you may not be able to actively participate in this legal aid clinic because you will not have learned a number of subjects which are applicable in our daily lives so far as members of the public bring their problems. Now, how long does the law program take? The law program, the Dean emphasized this, that it's a 4-year program. Now, like now, you are starting the 1st semester, 1st academic year in September at the beginning. You run up to December, but we'll be doing our exams in January because the Faculty of Law, we run at least 17 weeks. We are regulated by the Council of Legal Education. So you have to be in class and you will be in class for 15 weeks, and then you will do your exams within 2 weeks. That will run up to 17 weeks. Now, the 2nd semester, you will also run for 17 weeks. After that, you will complete 1 academic year. Normally, the Council of Legal Education requires that you take a break of at least 3 months upon completion of the academic program. So normally in Egerton, from May to August, you have to take a break of 3 months. Then you start your 2nd year
in September of the following year. But now, you have to note this. According to the regulations of Commission of Higher Education, you cannot proceed to the second academic year if you have not passed all the subjects that you are supposed to do in the first year. So be sure that you might derail if you are not going to work very hard. Now, 4 years program, after the 4 year, now you'll have to go to the Kenya School of Law if you wish to represent a client in court. So Kenya School of Law will take you 2 years, and they will tell you what you're supposed to do there. After that, you will be admitted as a lawyer. You sign the roll before the Chief Justice. That is when you can go to court. But at the end of your degree course, if you want to stop there, you can stop there. It will be your choice. But the degree program takes 4 years. Now, the other question is this. What does a moot court mean? Now, we have said that. And why is it important? Now, why it is important is that it gives you the skills that enable you to be prepared as a legal practitioner who is going to represent a client in court or in any tribunal. This is where, just like other professionals, like doctors, they go on internship in hospitals. Teachers are taken to classrooms to do teaching practice. Lawyers also start with this one, what we call the mooting. And that's where your skills will be tested. And I want to note, want to comment on this, that as you join this profession, we have so many lawyers in Kenya. We're getting to almost over 15,000 practicing lawyers. Almost every family has now a lawyer. Now, clients do not ask where they can get a lawyer. Clients ask, where can I get a good lawyer? So the choice is yours. Do you want to be a lawyer or do you want to be a good lawyer? If you want to be a good lawyer, Egerton University Faculty of Law will prepare you to be one. Now, what is a law entrance exam? I really didn't understand this question, but in Egerton University, we do not have a law entrance exam. From your high school, you qualified, you have been admitted to law, but I know in some other jurisdictions, like in India, for you to do law, you have to do an entrance exam so that you can be admitted to do law. But in Kenya, it does not apply. However, in Kenya School of Law, you have to do an exam before you are admitted to the Kenya School of Law. Thank you.
Okay, just also to emphasize on the skills-oriented courses that we have, from first year, when you join, we'll expose you to writing skills and review of cases. That is something other faculties don't do. They wait until third or fourth year. Then they have issues on how to do research. Remember, I said here, our niche is human rights and research, you know? And we cannot create a niche if we don't develop those skills from the word go, day one at the faculty. So we'll expose you to research, writing skills, and including review of case law that prepares you when you go out as an advocate, or even not before you go out as an advocate, at the Kenya School of Law, you're required to form teams, and in these teams, your communication skills are tested. If you are not exposed to any communication skills, you'll be having challenges. And also, do we prepare you to ensure that your communication skills are stronger? It is the same moots, that we introduce you to. And it's not about just communication skills, but building that confidence. I know so many of us, including me, when you start as an advocate, you are shy. You do not know how to address people in public. But mooting prepares you because you have to physically do it. And you have to consult with your colleagues because you are in teams and the work is not collective. Even though there's collective marks that is given for the team, an individual must participate. And you must participate by presenting a segment of the hypothetical case that you're given. And marks are awarded. So if you want to fail, you don't plan on how to do your moots. And it's not about moots, it's everything. You must plan how you're going to study, how you're going to revise, how you're going to attend lectures, and how well or how best you attempt your questions when the time for the exams come. Being a good lawyer starts from the School of Law, not from actual date of admission. You must learn that discipline from the university, and that is what we encourage at the Faculty of Law. Now, law clinics, as Mr. Getanda has explained, I just want to expound. Last year, the faculty was privileged to have been supported by the United Nations Development Program under the umbrella of Amkeni wa Kenya, with the support of European Union to run legal aid clinics. These legal aid clinics are undertaken by our students, but under the supervision of our lecturers, and sometimes also we get external advocates to assist when the numbers are big. So our students go out, not only just within the Faculty of Law do these clients come, but we go out to the community to expose students to real-life problems of the community. I will not tell you how to take instructions when you are in class. I will tell you theoretically. But when we go out to the legal clinics, or when the clients come to the faculty, you will be sitting with me or with Mr. Getanda or other colleagues, or a practicing advocate. So when when the client comes and they're explaining their problem, you'll be listening. The decisions that I'll be taking and discussing with you, and I'll also be allowing you to talk to that client. That way, I am preparing you to undertake your official duties as an advocate. And taking instructions is a key thing for an advocate when they start practicing. And it is important that you build this skill at the point of your study, the first point of your study of law. Getting that confidence so that the client can also have the confidence to talk to you. You know, if you just appear before a client and you're fidgeting, the confidence is not there, your pens are falling down, you're dressed badly, they won't take you seriously. They'll just walk away, you know. So by undertaking these legal aid clinics, we prepare our students, and they have to dress like lawyers so that the outside world will not necessarily know they are students, but for us we know, and that's why we are working as we are guiding them while taking instructions. I think that is now elaborate, and I think you have understood on the hands-on skills that the faculty uses to develop your own skills as students. I think, how has Corona affected legal aid education? Corona has affected all sectors in the country, and for legal education, it is worse because we cannot have a physical contact, because if you are here, if there was no Corona, you'd be here physically. We'd be chatting after this directly, you know, or you'll be seeing us, and it will be more interactive. I'm not saying it's not interactive now, but it is more, you feel the impact when someone is near you, okay? So that in itself is a problem. So you'll be coming in with no physical touch, but you have the spiritual touch, and you can see even with that challenge, Egerton University is ahead of the game. We are able to communicate with you before you come here, and we'll start our online classes immediately as we wait, you know, for the pandemic to go down, or until it is a little bit managed. And then, of course, secondly, with legal aid clinics that we have, it becomes difficult for you people to be exposed on a daily basis, because we have to observe social distancing. So that also means that even when you come as students, we cannot take many of you to the legal aid clinics outside of the university. It minimizes the numbers. So it will mean instead of having more people learning, we'll be taking them in bits. So that is a problem. And of course, you've seen the courts are closed. We have something called judicial attachment that introduces students to the court to see how the court works. So at the end of the day, you can decide whether, do you like the way the courts are handled? In the future, do you really want to be a magistrate or a judge? Of course, a judge takes longer. Or do you want to be a prosecutor? When you do judicial attachments, you go to the physical court, sit with the magistrates. You'll be seeing how advocates are presenting their cases. You'll see how the prosecutors are prosecuting their cases, and you'll see how magistrates are making decisions on cases that are presented before them for deliberation. So judicial attachment is also important, but because of COVID, we are unable to take our third-year students currently because of the restrictions, that emanates from the health guidelines and also government directive. But that does not mean that life will stop. We have to be innovative, and that is what the university has done to ensure that we continue with the education, the new normal. I'll invite Mr. Getanda if he has something else to add as we wait for more questions.
We are receiving a number of questions, but as we said on Thursday, we are going to have an interactive session. We will answer a number of questions if we are not able to finish by today. One of the questions that has come in, we are being asked, how expensive is the program in Egerton University, and should I clear all the fees? Right. Now, if you are a self-sponsored student, you will pay almost a total of 172,000 per academic year. That is what it is currently. It has not been reviewed upwards or downwards. If you are a student sponsored by the government, you will pay about 37,000. The government pays the other portion on your behalf. Now, should you clear all the fee before you sit for your exams? It's very simple. You have to clear before you sit for the exam. You will not be allowed to sit for the final examination if you have not cleared your fees. If we allow you to sit for that exam, then it means somebody else will have to incur an expense on your behalf. For example, if it is said that the examination fee, for example, if they said that the examination fee is 3,000 shillings, and we allow you to sit for the exam without paying that 3,000 shillings, which account are we going to debit to cater for your examination? So it is important, and as lawyers, I told you, you will insist before you represent your client that the client pays the full fee. Just he also pay the full fee before you sit for your exam. Now the other question that has come in is that do we have an alumni for law people in Egerton University? Not yet. The first group is expected to graduate by the end of this year. That's when we would enroll them as an alumni. For now, we have not had the first graduation, but it's expected by the end of this year. The other question is this. How long does one take at the Kenya School of Law? Now, we cannot competently answer that question, but out of what we know, you'll take about 2 years. That is if you pass your exams at the Kenya School of Law. If you don't pass, you will stay there forever. And there is a law that requires that you cannot sit for those exams more than 4 times. So if you fail 4 times, you are told you no longer become a lawyer forever. Then the other question is this. How marketable is an Egerton University law degree? Now, I don't know what I would say here, but I will say is this. that the choice you made to be here, you are on the right place. And our first students are due to graduate by the end of this year. When they go outside, we will get a feedback from prospective employers. We know what they require, and we know how our students are doing. As of now, they have not gotten jobs. But one thing I have to tell you, that we measure in two areas that any university in Kenya is not measuring in. One, we measure in human rights, which is actually currently a hot cake. And the dean mentioned where you can work. Number two, we are very good in legal research and writing skills. And that is what is expected of lawyers. How to do research and how to write using a legal language. You know, the language we use as lawyers is slightly different from what other professionals use. So, when you see the dean here, when you see the head of department here, you are going to meet our faculty members as the course progresses, and we believe we can competently compete in the market of lawyers. The other question is this: how are there types of law degrees? I would answer this question the way I have understood it. The first law degree is general degree, right? It's a general degree. But you can develop a bias towards a particular specialization. For example, you can develop an interest in human rights. That is what we do here, actually. You do more courses in human rights as compared to other courses. Then you can major in commercial law. There you can major in intellectual property. You can major in criminal law. We have various options that are available. But it is not easy for a degree to cover those options at once. Now, but if you advance your degree, your studies in law, for example, if you do masters, now when you go for a master's, that is an LLM degree, you may have now to major in a particular line. Although there is also a general LLM degree. So we'll be able to, and our career advice, we'll be able to advise you once you join our university. Then, our faculty. How many hours are you going to spend by a day undertaking your studies? We normally conduct our lessons from Monday to Friday. The time you will shortly receive a timetable. The first semester you will be doing 6 units. The examination officer and the officer who is in charge of the timetable was not able to be with us today. Would have answered that question. But by Wednesday, Thursday, I hope you'll get the timetable. You are going to be full-time students, not part-time. So from Monday to Friday, you have to be prepared. Our lessons normally start at 8 and they end up, we close down at 5 p.m. But if you were to be in session, we have what we call tutorials, which run from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. That is a session you will have with your lecturer if you have any questions that you can answer. So the timetable will be coming out and we'll be able to adequately respond on this question as from Thursday this week. And you will get a link. We will be having an interactive session between 9:30 up to around 11 with the members of the faculty. Now, there are a few questions here that are remaining, and I will ask the administrator also to comment on them. Mr. Kimani.
Good morning once again. Where is the program offered? Main campus or town campus? Faculty of Law is in town campus, and we don't have any branch in Njoro. It's only offered in town campus, which is along Bedi Road at the junction, Bedi Road, Lower Bedi Road, some other junction. Where do law students stay? Like I said earlier, we work closely with private hostel owners within Nakuru town, and there are many hostels. We have around 10 facilities to choose from, and they range from 5,000 to 6,500 per month. And they offer meals, all meals during weekends and public holidays. And for weekdays, they offer breakfast and lunch, and they depending on your budget. How can I transfer to the Faculty of Law, and what are the requirements? If you wish to do interfaculty transfer, there'll be a portal which will be open as from 31st of this month, and from there you just fill in your details, and once you submit, there is a review committee that will give you feedback and communicate on the same. Thank you.
As we expect more questions, there is one I want to emphasize on again, how marketable or popular our program, Law Degree program is. And I said, we are very young, we are yet to have students graduate. But I want you to get two things. One, we have a legal aid clinic that is sponsored by UNDP, as the Dean has mentioned. We are the only university in Kenya who have been sponsored by UNDP. When an advert or a tender was put right on the papers, a number of universities applied. We are the only people who, despite being young and new, we were the only one who was sponsored by UNDP. UNDP saw, right, a lot of potential in our faculty. And I want to add something that happened yesterday. United Nations Office of the Human Rights Division from Nairobi, they visited our faculty yesterday. Maybe the Dean can comment on it in greater detail. We were lucky to be assisted with a number of books dealing with the human rights, which actually is a rare occasion. When you have a UN special and a senior legal advisor and the assistant coming to our faculty level to donate those books to support our program that is likely to start, and this program will be a master's on human rights. So if we have you with us for 4 years, after 4 years, be sure you are not going to leave us. We want to retain you for 2 more years or 1 year to do an LLM degree on human rights. Right? Thank you. Now, as we wait for more questions, there are other issues that we need to address. Now, as you come in, the Dean of Students, I know, would have given more information. The Dean of Students, not the Dean Faculty of Law. Sports activities. Those of you who like sports, right? There will be a session for you to participate in sports. We have inter-faculty competitions within the university. Though we are based in town, we normally use Afra Stadium and a stadium from other neighboring secondary schools where you can go and play your soccer, you can do all that you want. Even swimming, if you want to participate there, the provisions will be there. But when you come to the main campus, we have a number of fields here, including a swimming pool, which you can make use of as you are here. Now, we also have other clubs that you can join as a member. So once you come in, you will be introduced to those clubs, and it will be a question of choice. We also respect freedom of worship. The religious activities are undertaken in the university. It will be a choice to which religion you belong. We have the Adventists, we have the Sunday worshippers, we have the Muslims. The opportunity is always provided for you to participate in worshiping in any way you want. Mr. Mr. Kimani mentioned about the accommodation. I know that will be a challenge. But then, we have private hostels within Nakuru town, which are near where the faculty is stationed. You can access the faculty within a short period. It's a walking distance. They will be available. But those who come to Njoro, they can be accommodated inside. But within or nearby, we have a number of private hostels. The university makes arrangements for students to get those hostels. If you are you can also rent your own private house if you wish. It will be a question of choice. But all hostels are available at reasonable prices. Right? The library, I will comment on the library, although the librarian will talk about it once you come in. We have a library which is well equipped within the faculty. We have sufficient books. It is open from 8 a.m., but they don't close at 5. As lectures close at 5, they proceed, I guess, up to around 9 p.m. So if you want to do your independent studies, the library is there. ICT room is available for you You can access any information online. The university has prescribed to a number of journals that you can access. E-books, they are available, right? And hard copies are also on the shelves. So you will not miss. And if you have to type your assignments the way we expect you to do, it's good for you to come with your laptop. It's good for you to have a laptop, but we have a few computers that can accommodate you. We also have breakaway rooms within the university. If you want to do independent studies, you have group discussions, they will be available for you to make use of them. I think that's all briefly what I want to say, and if there are more questions, we'll again address them. Now, the Dean will be addressing you very briefly on some other issues, and there are more questions that's coming. But let me say something about examinations. The exam officer is not available to say something, but as a head of department, I am in charge of exams. I'm the chief examination officer, and I have to tell you this, that Egerton University, we have examination rules. You will be exposed to those rules. If you go against those examination rules, there is no option other than you being expelled. And fundamentally, if you are found cheating in the examination, in fact, the only punishment which is available is that you will be expelled. Where you will go, it's up to you. Now, lawyers, we don't cheat in exams. If you cheat in exams, you can expect what will happen when you become a legal practitioner. Your client gives you a case, right? You're going to defend him. Where do you get answers on how to defend your client? And we don't want to encourage you. If you start cheating exams, you can get your first class, and you are never caught. When it comes to legal practice, I will tell you it is something different. If you used to cheat in exams, tell me how you're going to cheat in representing your client. Would you end up bribing a judge, a magistrate, or the likes? No, we encourage that we don't do that. So examinations are taken seriously. And as you prepare for the exams, the timetable comes out early enough. You are given adequate notice. You'll be guided which exam is being done on which day and what time. But should you be involved in cheating, the only punishment available is expulsion. There is no compromise about that. You are never sent away for one semester and you come back. You will come back and continue doing the same thing. So Egerton University has no room for those who cheat in exams. You have to be prepared and you have to go away. Now, on matters of social life, you will be exposed to some of these things most of the times. And as I said earlier, you are going to enjoy 100% plus independency. That independency, make use of it properly. I know you will have the freedom to do what you want to do, but I will tell you is this. You are coming to Egerton, you do undertake your studies, you get your degree, and you proceed to where you want. Our lady students who are coming in, we don't want you to leave Egerton University with 2 degrees. And you understand what I mean by 2 degrees, right? You get the paper degree, and you get another degree. When you go home, you came a single person. When you go back home, you are carrying your paper degree and another degree together with you. That can be a cause of misconvenience. Manage yourself properly, concentrate on your studies. The other aspects of life, as much as you are above 18 years, see how you can manage yourself. Social life can affect your academic life. See how you can avoid that. Now, we are based in town. We have people who do business. And the business that you'll be doing, you'll be involved, find yourself being involved in drugs. Now, if you are caught being involved in drugs, the punishment is very severe. We have a law which, if you are found guilty, that becomes a police case. You will pay up to a fine of 10 million shillings. You can imagine you are a student. Do you have that money? Or you can go to jail for more than 5 years. And that can affect your life. So, as you check on the company, check on the group that you will be working with. And finally, before the administrator comes in to say something, it's advisable that now that we have talked to you, communicate amongst yourselves, conduct some elections, and have a class rep. A class rep will be a link between you as students and also the lecturer and the administration. So that if we have anything that we have to pass to you, it passes through the class rep. Create a wall where class communication will always be good. And as somebody indicated earlier, always check on the university web to see any advertisements and the communication that are always available. Now, what is criminal law? That's one of the questions that has been asked. And I will confirm this. Since we started the Faculty of Law, I have been teaching criminal law. I would simply explain criminal law is that branch of law which tells you what to do or what not to do. And if you do not comply, it prescribes the punishment applicable. For example, I can mention the statute that the main statute that guides us in criminal law. We have the Penal Code, Chapter 63, Laws of Kenya. The Penal Code has a list of offenses, right? That list is not exhaustive. For example, if you go to section 275, if I'm right, that it talks about theft, that you should not steal. If you are found guilty of stealing, the punishment will be up to a maximum of 3 years imprisonment. Depending on the circumstances, you may be put, right? You may be put on probation depending on the nature of the offense, but that is the punishment. The thing is, whoever is asking what is criminal law, we will do this in second semester, but note that this is what tells you what to do, the law that tells you what to do and what not to do, and if you do not comply, the same law prescribes the punishment. Under section 202, the offense of murder is provided for. If you are found guilty of murder, you are supposed to be sentenced to death. Although, since 1983, no one has been executed in Kenya. They're just languishing in jail because we are also talking about fundamental rights. No one has the right to take the life of another person. Now, the program is over the town campus. Where do we study or lecture halls? In our faculty building, we have the lecture halls. They're there and they're enough for you. And I talked about breakaway rooms where you can do your independent studies. The library is also within the same premises, so you don't have to travel anywhere. But we have three campuses in town. We have the one we call EU, and where the Faculty of Commerce is housed. So we have libraries there. If you want also to go and undertake your studies there, you can do so. Now, how safe are you in the private hostels? I would say this, that if you rent a private hostel, now you see the universities is not in control. It is the landlords who will provide the security. So as you make a choice which hostel you want to stay in, it's always important for you to find out about safety, right? And don't expose yourself to risks, as many students will do. Just examine the hostel. If it is safe for you, if you are satisfied with the security issue arrangements there, that's when you can join. But if you are in a private hostel, I will have to tell you the university will not be involved in the matters of security, right? Or somebody else will be able to explain that. I don't understand this. What makes one to, I think the person wanted to ask, what makes one to be suspended from the program? What makes one to be suspended from the program? We will give you the manuals that you read. There will be a number of reasons why one may be suspended from the program. One, if you do not pass the required number of subjects to enable you progress to the next academic year, these are the options. You may be told to repeat the academic year, right? or you may be told to repeat the units that you have not performed well. And if you do not attain the required standard, you will be, in fact, you will not be suspended, you will be expelled. If you misconduct yourself, misconduct takes various forms, so I cannot be able to give an exhaustive list of the misconduct. For example, I would talk about lawyers. If you are being found drunk and disorderly in the university premises, we will not entertain you here, you may be suspended. Anyway, if you act against university rules, it may be a cause of suspension or expulsion. Now, I think that's all that I can see here.
Okay, one other thing that I will encourage students, when you join the university community, you'll have peers who might influence you badly or might influence you positively. And what do I mean by this? When you have problems, don't run to the streets for a solution. Use dialogue. Involving in illegal strikes is part of the reason, it constitutes an offense and can attract suspension from the university. You're here to study. The certificate in your closet. You want to be a better lawyer. And you can't be a better lawyer if you got your goals wrong from the school. We have to plan in advance. And it is through that planning that we execute what we intend to achieve in life. So I encourage you as young coming lawyers, because I want you to take over from me. And you can only take over from me when you're focused. When you are dedicated, you're determined, you're respectful, you're courteous to your colleagues. And when you come to the university, please respect authority. Authority is put in place to ensure that everyone is happy within the premises here. And by the time you're deviating, it's like you're disrupting the equilibrium and therefore disrespectful of the authority of Egerton University. From the lowest level of authority to the highmost. You'll never run into problems when you respect authority and you do what has brought you to Egerton University, Faculty of Law. And as lawyers, please lead by examples. We are here for you and be there for us so it makes it easy for us to achieve our common goal. That is transforming your lives through quality education. There can never be quality if the person receiving it is uncooperative. So let us cooperate both ways and we'll achieve our goals, because as I've told you, our faculty is driven or is underpinned by human rights. Meaning, We encourage participation, we encourage non-discrimination, so, and also we encourage transparency. So whatever it is, we'll observe your rights, but remember even those rights as you come in, you have responsibilities, and obligations that you must adhere to. So there's no way we'll uphold your human rights when you yourself are not guided by those human rights principles. And we must learn by doing. And by doing, we learn and we become better. Thank you.
Now, I want to talk about some of the experiences that I've encountered with the students as a lecturer and also a head of department from the Faculty of Law. And I do not wish that you young ladies and gentlemen become victims of these kind of stories. A student resides with the parents, just within Nakuru, but a distance from where the faculty is. Lessons, we have the timetable. The class starts at 8. The student tells the guardian or the parent that I need transport and lunch to go to class, and the lesson starts at 11. You hear what the student is telling the guardian. The student is telling the guardian the lesson starts at 11. When the lesson starts at what? At 8. This continues like that. Now, at the end of the semester, we tell the students, you cannot sit for the exams because your attendance has been very poor, right? You have not attended the minimum required number of lessons for you to sit for the exam. When the parent comes to find out and says, my students or my son or my daughter has been coming to class every day, he says the timetable of the class starts at 11. Please note, we are also parents. As a faculty, we are also in touch with your parents. We tell your parents when the exam starts, when the lesson starts. So never lie to your parents. The truth will always do what? Will come out. Now, you will be given the other experience that we have encountered. You are given money by your guardian or by your parents to come and pay the fee. Once you arrive in college, you don't pay the fee. And what do? You get your friends, they tell you, you can invest this money somewhere and get returns. Right? For example, you are supposed to pay 60,000 and you've carried the 60,000 from your guardian to pay the fee. We have encountered situations where a student goes and invests the 60,000. Within 2 months, he expects to make around 80,000, then pay the fee. The deal does not work. You lose the money. Now, the guardian says he's paid the fee, or you were given the fee. But you yourself, you never paid. You owe your parent or guardian an explanation. And as lawyers who are upcoming, we want you to understand and be prepared that if the money is meant for payment of fee, let it be used for that fee, not for any other investment. I know if you continue like that, you will be handling clients' money. And once the client's money gets into your account, you decide to invest that money somewhere, right? Get a few returns. Keep on telling your client that the money is not ready, it's not available, we have not been paid, which is not the correct information. We do not want to venture into such scenarios. We don't want you to be victims of that nature. Now, professional ethics would require you to be honest, right? The issue of integrity is very, very, very important. So we are going to teach you professional ethics when you reach for the year or that year, depending on our program, and we expect you to adhere to those rules. We don't want to have problems as teachers or lecturers and your parents, because we have had a case where a parent calls, when is the exam going to be done? We inform the parent, and you tell the parent a different date. And the other experience we have had, if we are going to take students for a trip, the trip will be sanctioned by the university, the management or authority, and it will be known that students will be going for a particular trip. If you will be required to pay money, you will be clearly informed and a letter will be done to indicate how much money is required for that trip and the purpose of that trip. We have had past experience where students lie to their parents that they are going for an academic trip, for example, in Arusha, which trip has not been sanctioned by the university. When a parent calls to inquire and ask whether students are going for a trip, we say, the dean says, we are not aware. The head of department says, we are not aware. The lecturer concerned with a particular subject says he's not aware. Now, tell me, where does that leave us as lecturers and the parents? We don't want to create enmity between the three of us. So students, always be honest, speak the truth, and you will always be set free. We will be sharing with you many more experiences, issues that we have encountered, and we don't want you to be victims of such a kind of scenarios.
We're almost coming to an end, and this is going to be my parting shot to my law students. It is going to be a long one. Parting shots are supposed to be short, but it's going to be a long one. Now, as Mr. Getanda told you, is an expert in criminal law. For me, most of our work I do is I'm an expert on human rights, but human rights focused on gender. And this is what I'm going to tell you. When you come to campus, you're going to be faced with many challenges. There's something we call on campus like sexually transmitted grades. I want to prepare you and build your confidence that as you come to the Faculty of Law, we do not condone, neither do we tolerate sexual harassment within the campus or outside the campus involving a lecturer and a student or a student with any faculty staff. You can only help us to help you if you experience sexual harassment by speaking. The Dean's office is open. It has a door open policy. You will not be victimized. Remember, we are a human rights institution. We'll ensure that we are there to our principles and will try and live to the best standards that we can get. Not the minimum, but we'll try and maximize in the best interest of our students. Please be honest, as you've been told. If someone approaches you, don't be afraid. I'm here for you, for the boys and the girls. And the fact that I am an expert of gender, and gender does not mean women or girls. It means boys and girls, women and men. I encourage you to be free, be courageous, because we'll defend you. Even if it is me, there's still another channel you can use. Don't be afraid, because she was introduced as the dean. She's unreachable and she's untouchable. No one is untouchable. I welcome you. I'll stop here, and all I can do is you're welcome. You'll get the best from our faculty. And once again, thank you for choosing Egerton University Faculty of Law for your academic journey. Thank you.
Wow, that has been very nice and interesting. The learning friends. I hope you still remember that you are learning friends. Most welcome. We have all learned from that. Kindly keep on asking questions. If you remember that you needed to ask a question later, you are still welcome. That you continue zooming in. Our zooming details and passwords are provided in the site. firstyears.egerton.ac.ke. And you can equally subscribe to our YouTube channel, Egerton University Official. You can also like our Facebook page, Egerton University. You can follow us on Twitter handle at Egerton Uni Kenya. Kindly keep checking on the Egerton website for departmental meetings, for any type of communication. It's important that you keep checking on this website so that you get what is communicated to you about meetings, departmental meetings, and any other type of communication. This is where you'll get to know what is happening in the university, what you need to know, the requirements, and also what the university requires of you. And secondly, I want to announce that all of us, including the law students, the learning friends, that we are all welcome on Thursday afternoon. This session is going to be for the entire students, and on Friday afternoon, not leaving out Monday 31st, that we will all be required to attend the orientation sessions. Now, we are about to come to the end of our morning session. We have learned quite a lot, and especially there was a point of time management that we need to plan, start planning from the word go. And number one is that yourself, do not be a time waster. As you plan your time, if you plan to succeed, then avoid being a time waster and know exactly what you need. Because when you do not know what you need, you will plan and plan to fail. So therefore, run away from planning to fail and plan to succeed by making sure you are not the time waster to the rest. Succeed. Number one is make sure that the rest succeed because you have been there to support them. Therefore, the learning friends, this has been an interesting session. Thank you. Please remember that we still have our call number, orientation call number open, 0711 082444. Thank you so much. We would want to end with a word of prayer, and thereafter have to stand up where we will be after the prayer for the national anthem and East African and Egerton anthem. Please remember that Thursday afternoon, Friday afternoon, we will all be required to be present. Welcome, Mary, for a word of prayer.
Let us pray. Our Heavenly Father, we come to you this afternoon. We glorify your mighty name. Thank you for being with us since we started this session. And we pray for the presenters from Faculty of Law for the information that they have given our online students. As we break for lunch, we commit the evening session into our able hands. And we pray that in Jesus' name, amen.
University we are. Passion for excellence, devotion to duty, professionalism, thus until in one accord, Egerton University we are. Ushirikiano na haki kwa wote, elimu hakika, tunapata ujuzi wa maendeleo ya kimataifa. Egerton chuo chetu cha hakika, kwa ufanisi kujitolea, utenda kazi milele, tukiungana kwa pamoja. Egerton chuo chetu cha hakika. In our varsity is set to achieve great opportunities to research and transforming lives through quality education. Egerton University we are. Kwa ufanisi kujitolea, utenda kazi milele, tukiungana kwa pamoja. Egerton chuo chetu cha haki.